and thank you all for rejoining us. On behalf of the organizing committee and the Durgapur Government College, I welcome Dr. Sanjay Mondal, Associate Professor, Netaji Subhash Open University. We are privileged to have sir with us for the chair of the next session. As we continue into our final technical session of the conference, chaired by Dr. Mondal, we will explore terrestrial fauna diversity and biodiversity conservation. This session features diverse studies on wildlife behavior, species documentation, ecosystem interactions, conservation challenges, and policy frameworks that shape our understanding of biodiversity in terrestrial environments. So, we will begin with a fascinating presentation on the bioecological study of the Indian grey wolf, a case study from West Bengal by Prachestha Chowdhury and Soumyajit Banerjee. Prachestha Chowdhury, if you are present, now the
Yes, sir,
floor
I
is
am
yours.
present. Thank you, sir. Sir, I am audible.
Yes, you are audible. Slides are
Yeah.
visible. Please go.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Prachestha Chowdhury. Today, my presentation is entitled Ghost of Grassland, a comprehensive study of bioecological factors of Indian grey wolf, case study from West Bengal. Without wasting much time, let's get into the presentation. Now, focusing on the key facts of the target species. We all know it's mysterious, phantom-like, and elusive, and it's commonly known as ghost of grasslands, as I mentioned before. They are tawny and reddish coat, and they easily melts into the flaxen bronze grassland landscape. According to the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, these species have been categorized as the Schedule 1 species to ensure the highest conservation effort. Let's move into the next slide. The apex predator having keen senses like good vision and scent, allowing them for recognizing prey from a great distance even at dark. They are renowned for their exceptional stamina and cunning capacity, which they have been used to track and ambush victims in the darkness. In order to track this carnivorous activity, field indicators like droppings, footprints, and den sites are being utilized for making the index scores. The main objectives of my study include evaluation of the following. Firstly, the location and quantity of Indian grey wolf in Paschim Bardhaman district, scat analysis to look into their feeding habit or diet, and spreading awareness among the local people of villages to lessen the human wildlife conflict and protect the animals and their habitat. Let's move on to the next segment, that is materials and methods which have been followed by me during my study. Indirect evidences collection. By using line transect method or random sampling protocol, I have found many indirect evidences like fecal matter, footprint, den sites, etc. in a non-invasive manner to gather insights regarding this species. Questionnaire survey. Next, the semi-structured local people survey was one of the major backbones of this study, where I have tried to gather information from the people of local villages fallen into my study area regarding the presence or absence of Indian grey wolf, activity pattern of them, and the species, followed by the conception of these local people about the Indian grey wolf leading towards the man-animal conflict. And third, the camera trapping technique. Then I have relied upon this technique to obtain secondary data by capturing their images, as I have not encountered them directly. The fourth, the dietary analysis. This portion acts a major role to convey their feeding habit. And the data analysis portion, after collecting all the data, the final step is to analyze that what we have obtained. And particularly for that purpose, I have used softwares like Excel and Past. And for the generation of map, I have used GeoTracker and Google Earth Pro. Uh, the Here are some glimpses of the evidences of my indirect collection during my study period. The pagma, fecal matter, the undigested material of prey species, and droppings, etc. And questionnaire survey. The Many villages of Paschim Bardhaman district like Saraswatiganj, Bishnupur, Rakhitpur were sampled intensively to conduct the interviews. More than 280 people responded during my study. I have used this technique to gather the knowledge about human wildlife conflicts and their threats, and people perceptions to some extent were aggressive because they are livestock fosters and the loss is unmitigable. So this helped me to know to gather the knowledge about the coexistence of Indian grey wolf in this area. Next, the camera trapping technique. I have used this secondary data collection protocol to determine the density and quantity of Indian grey wolf in the forest, and lack of adequate camera trap was a major problem during my study. Next, the dietary range estimation. First, I have sampled many fecal matter from my 3 study sites, Madhaiganj, Kataberia, and Gorjongal. The laboratory protocol includes oven dry sampling, oven dry the samples, then collection of the hair of the prey species and fix it in a slide, and the microscopic study to know more about their medullary patterns of the hair to detect the actual prey species. So I have found majorly herbivores like goat, sheep, wild boar, cow, buffalo, house mouse, dog, cat, etc. And the extra findings are dead seeds, feather, bones, etc. These are my 3 study areas: Madhaiganj, Kataberia, and Gorjongal. The blue lines indicate the sampling trails of my study, and this is one by one grid of Madhaiganj Laudua forest area, and this is one by one grid of Kataberia and Gorjongal study area. Now, coming into the result section of my study, in different the activity pattern were measured through indirect evidences and camera trap. Most of the activities were encountered during the afternoon period like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and in the evening period like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The average encounter rate was determined during 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. According to the evidences, the minimum encountered were occurred during the morning and the daytime. And the overall distribution of photo capture rate per 100 days were estimated, and the data of the photo capture rate fluctuates throughout the 100-day period. There is a noticeable decline in the photo capture rate between 30 and 70 days, reaching a low of 3.33 photos per 100 days. And the photo capture rate then increases to 21.25 photos per 100 days at the day of 70. The mean photo capture rate was calculated 17.72. And next, the season-wise photo capture rate. Winter season was highly rated. The most photos were taken in the winter season with an average of 6 the and next, the sign survey. This graph compared the percentage of total sign between two sites, God and Madhaiganj. In God Jongle, small percentage of pagmak were observed with no scat detected, and conversely, the Madhaiganj showed a substantial presence of both pagmak and scat. Roughly, pagmaks accounting 20% and scat for approximately 70% of the signs. And here are some results obtained from the questionnaire survey. The majority of the people knew about wolves, and sighting confirmation was depicted by yes. It means the majority of people had seen wolf positively in their lifetime. And the sighting frequency among the surveyed people, the villagers near forests, majority of individuals had encountered wolf many times. And the time of the day they can be seen, the local people of the villages had encountered the wolf mostly in the night and evening time compared to the any other time of the day. And the most common question, livestock loss due to wolf attack. Different villages had different opinion about livestock loss due to wolf attack. Like someone had two of his or her livestock loss due to wolf's attack approximately 1 month ago. So to some extent, an aggressive perception came out from them. And when they heard anything about wolf attack on livestock, the maximum villagers were intensively livestock fostered, as I have mentioned before, by their profession. So for them, the loss is unmitigable. And the result often from the scat analysis portion, uh, it was observed that goat, wild boar, cow were the major prey species, followed by the cat, buffalo, dog, and house mouse in decreasing order. The Here the total sample of 20 scat was subjected to resampling and to get confidence limits on the mean frequency of prey in the scats. Wool scats were collected from Madhaiganj and Gaur forest area, contain single prey species like 91% goat, 84% wild boar, 73% cow, 65% buffalo, 12% cat, and 6% dog, 5% house mouse, respectively. Thus, major prey items of wolves were mainly herbivores, as no signs of other groups such as bird or reptiles were observed in the scat sample, as the presence of such items had been widely studied during analysis period. And it was observed that out of these 20 scat samples analyzed, all of them contain hair remains, dead seeds, bones of chicken, feather, hard bones of wild boar were present in this sample, and it is clearly evident that wolves' food habit can be well studied based on their hair, bones, and feather, etc. Here are some nutshell of my study. They are mostly observed in the dry deciduous forests and open field compared to deep forests. There are more indirect signs I have found compared to direct sightings, and the number and status of Indian grey wolf in the rural part of the West Bengal were provided a starting point for the investigation, and the species study is extremely low, and the species is generally treated negatively. So the conservation efforts and raising awareness of the issue is very vital, and it requires a quick action. And the overall concluding remarks of my study is, the livestock depredation throughout the habitat range is imposing a potential severe threat continuously on the Indian grey wolf. The maximum number of pug marks have been collected from the sandy grounds. Two dry deciduous forests of India, mainly Papikonda Wildlife Sanctuary in Andhra Pradesh and Kanha Pench Tiger Reserves, are greatly known for their frequent observation of the Indian grey wolf. And for ensuring the long-term genetic viability of wolf, involvement of the local community needs to be prioritized for the management planning, and conserve the biological functionality, majorly focusing on the wolf corridors. And these are the photographic evidences of Indian grey wolf from my study, and so on. And lastly, I'd like to thank Dr. Soumojit Banerjee for helping me and guiding me throughout. My co-supervisor, Dr. Tapojit Bhattacharya, for always guiding me. Thank you, sir. And lastly, my fellow batchmates, my lab mates, Srirampur College, Durgapur Government College, University of Calcutta, Paschim Bongo Sarkar. Thank you for everything and helping me throughout. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prachestha. Now the floor is open for questions. You can have one or two questions. Yes, sir. Sanghamitra Channel has raised a hand. Sir, please go on with your question.
Prachestha, I have two queries.
Sure, sir.
Number one, how do you know that the livestock attack was by the wolves? And number two is, uh, from the scat analysis, did you find any evidence that these wolves had consumed livestock?
Sir, first question I would like to answer from the local people. I got the answer that the live. Can you repeat the first question, please?
How did you or the villagers know that the livestock had been attacked by wolves and not by, say, hyena or by what, dogs? How did they know it was the wolf?
My target species is like Indian grey wolf. So I have interviewed them and about only Indian grey wolf, and they have said like the attack was by Indian grey wolf, not by hyena, because hyena is quite bigger in size compared to Indian grey wolf, and like I have found, and they said I have to rely upon their answers. So there is nothing to do from my end. So it's like from them only. They said like Indian grey wolf attack on the livestock.
And
And your
analysis
second
corroborate
question,
that data. When you were analyzing,
please say
you
again.
find basically evidence that they have consumed livestock, say livestock hair or bones or something like that.
Yes, yes. Uh, I have collected the fecal matter as I have mentioned from the Madhaiganj, Kataberi and God Jungle, and I have sampled them in the laboratory, and and I have found bones and bones of chicken or bones of wild boar and hair, and the reference material was help was there to help me to identify the actual hair of the prey species. Like,
So that means you actually have some corroborating data.
yeah, I
It's just
have the
not that the
reference material to
actually,
identify my.
from stat analysis you actually did find that there is some weight to what they have said.
uh, yeah,
Just say yes.
yeah, yes.
Okay, Prachestha, there are two
Yes, sir.
questions in the chat box. One from Devan Gayan. He is complimenting
Okay,
your
sir.
work, and he is asking basically the same question what Mr. Sanal has asked. Is there any record of
Okay,
wolf
sir.
attacking cows and buffaloes? How scat samples has cow and buffalo hairs? Can you explain?
One
I think
question
you have
and
already
then
answered that
record.
in your previous question.
Yeah, I think, sir.
Devan, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Surely,
Okay.
surely.
Okay. Next compliment
Thank
is
you, sir.
from
Thank you.
Priyankar Chakraborty. He is congratulating you and asking that what would be the most important conservation action based on your findings. Can you please shed some light on it?
Uh, the important conservation action should be like protect their habitat, or like there are many protected areas for this schedule one species. So if like any kind of protected area we can establish there, so it will be helpful for them. So I, for me, the protected area management is the most important conservation action for them and from my perspective.
Well, if Dr. Somojit is present here, can I ask you to add something with this particular answer? If not, then I will add something with the permission of the chair. Sir, may I?
Okay, no problem.
Fine. Okay, Mr. Priyankar, what Prachestha said is correct. We have to protect it. But at the same time, I feel awareness generation is the most important part for the time being for this particular area. People are aware about wolves, but they are not aware about their conservation significance. For this particular study, and as an extension of it, already WWF and Wings are working in this particular area, and awareness generation is currently going on. So I think this should be the correct answer. Of with the protection, we should also increase the awareness generation among the villagers. Is it okay, Priyankar? Okay. So if there is no more questions for Prachestha, with the permission of the chair, we will move on the next presentation. Okay. Prachestha.